Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. Today we're trying a brewery that I've wanted to try for quite a long time, and I know they've had some success with the Menninger Beer Awards, I believe. Not for this beer, although I think this is a well-respected beer. But yeah, I don't know why I've just never got around to trying any of their beers, and they've got a few of them in Birretta, where of course I picked this one up. So we're going over to the VETO brewery. Hopferei Hertrich, I think that's the actual name of the brewery itself. And ja, VETO gegen Massenbierhaltung. So this is the Hopfentiger, which is an IPA, clocking in at 7.5%, 330ml bottle. So what have they got here then? So it's unfiltered. Malts are Pale Ale, Pilsner, Vienna and Cara malts. And then the hops are Cascade, Centennial, Chinook, Columbus, all them C's. And yeah, of course, yeast. So these guys are out of Feucht. Not too sure exactly where that is. And the best before date is the 6th of the 4th, 2018. So yeah, cool artwork though, some geometric shapes, and then you've got the pattern on the background, and then that sort of follows on to the design of the neck, and then of course there is the orange crown. So yeah, really nicely presented, these beers. And yeah, so I picked up a couple today, and following the advice that James always gives over at Rampline Reviews, when you're trying out a brewery, pick a light beer or a pale beer, and then pick a dark beer. So you can have even with those two beers, you can have some sort of idea how they handle both styles. And yeah, so that's something that I need to do a hell of a lot more. So, nice amounts of smoke, not too much. And yeah, so I'm having a few beers tonight. And I thought I would give these a try finally. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the other beer that I picked up from these guys, which has done quite well recently. So beer in a glass then, I can smell it already, especially that Cascade hop. And that is a lovely sort of copper rusty colour. It's not completely opaque, but it's got a nice amount of haze in there. You can definitely tell it's an unfiltered beer. Lovely shine in there as well, and the beer poured with, well, I've just got about a lining's worth of maybe ever so slightly off-white head. So yeah, it looks very, very nice, as you would expect from a nicely brewed IPA. So let's see what we get in the aroma. Big hit. I've said it time and time again, I'm no way an expert, but because I've drank a hell of a lot of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, one of my favourite beers ever, I'm so used to that Cascade aroma. And lovely, vibrant, citrusy tones coming through. A little bit of like a slight savoury fried onion aroma, or like a baked garlic bulb. It just sort of like offsets it nicely. Slight hints of that caramel malt coming through as well. But yeah, there's a lovely balance with those hops. There's no one hop like bam trying to get your attention. It's just a lovely, slightly fruity, citrusy, hoppy IPA. Fairly standard. Nothing too amazingly exciting, but what is there is just so satisfying. And at 7.5, did I say that was? Yeah, you're not getting any detection of booze in there. So without any further ado, let's have a taste. Prost. And that's consistently bitter from start to finish. And what I mean by that is that level of bitterness is constant, so it'll probably will, as I'm drinking it now, build up more on the back end. But you know exactly what you get from that first sip. It's big whiffs of grapefruit, big pummelings of blood orange. It's got a really nice, excuse me, It's got a really nice crispness from the pale ale malt, and it's got Pilsner malt in there, and you sort of get that in that slightly lighter mouthfeel. But then it's sort of bulked up a tiny bit with caramels, and you do slightly get that in the flavour as well. But like I was just saying on the aroma, you'll have tasted plenty of IPAs like this, albeit with varying levels of quality. It's got the flavour profile of a lot of IPAs that have come before it, and it's going to have the same flavour profile as a lot of IPAs that come after it. But this is such a solidly crafted beer, so enjoyable, so quaffable. Even at 7.5%, you'd get yourself into a hell of a lot of trouble with this one. And as I'm talking now, these lovely oily resiny characters are coming out to play. So it's got a big West Coast feel. And I would even say at 7.5%, this to me anyway is drinking as a very solid but modest West Coast double IPA. Savoury flavours build up a little bit as you drink it. There was an ever so slight, like a medicinal sort of vitamin tablet character in there, but it actually works well within the context of the beer. It's not out of place, it's not an offensive flavour. Yeah, it's a familiar beer, but it's done really, really well. And it's not just an amicable job, it's a wonderfully brewed beer. So high quality, if that makes sense. So we'll pour the rest in, see if it changes. Well, I'm not expecting it to change too much. So, beer in a glass. It seems to have hazed up a bit more, slightly more opaque, but again not too heavy. And that head is just reinforced really nicely. It's almost got like a slight creaminess to it. So one more taste and we'll give it a rating. Yeah, it's Cascade all day, and it chews so nicely. And with that amount of those C hops, like I was saying, you'll have tasted this beer before, but this is a very fine example of the style. And yeah, it's like, do I hinder it because I personally feel it's a double IPA as opposed to a regular IPA? I don't know if that's fair or just or whatever. But take it from me, this is a damn good beer and highly, highly recommended if you get the chance to try it. I think I paid a little bit more than I think I would for an equally high quality IPA. I won't lie. So the cost does work against it ever so slightly, but I know how much money goes into creating these beers, so you've got to be fair with that. But I'd say, in terms of a rating for the, Hopferei Hertrich Hopfentiger India Pale Ale, the VETO Hopfentiger India Pale Ale, 7.5%. I'm going to put your teeth in, Peter. Going to give that an 8 out of 10. Very solid job indeed. Would I drink it again? Hell yeah. I'd happily drink that one again. If I wanted just a high quality, slightly punchy, slightly, well, not slightly bitter, it's considerably bitter, solid, oomphy IPA. But then again, you get carried away because it's drinking so easily and that alcohol is masked absolutely beautifully. So if you tried this one, as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you tried anything else from this brewery, give me your thoughts and opinions on those beers and the brewery itself. Check out the brewery, of course. Check out Birretta, one from where I bought this beer from. Check out my Indie Pale playlist down below, and more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So, thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to reviewing another beer for you guys. Cheers.